Thank you. Good afternoon to all of you. In the yesterday's class, already we have discussed about the various important aspects relating to the process of recruitment, how the recruitment goes on, and what are the various important factors that are influencing the process of recruitment. What is the difference between recruitment and selection, and so on and so forth. Actually, as per the schedule given by the university for these classes, today is the last class as per the schedule. And in this class, we are going to take up the very, very important aspect, that is performance appraisal. How the appraisal system works, and what are the various important aspects relating to performance, what are the various kinds of performance appraisal systems, and so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, when the recruitment process is taken up, employee job into the organization, and then the training process definitely will go on. When the training is given according to the organizational needs, the employee use it to perform the activities of the various organization issues. When once he started performing the activities, first organizations give time for them to adjust for the organizational culture, and then at a particular level or after a certain period of time, the management or the employer use it to evaluate the performance of the employees, depending on the nature, depending on the time of period after his appointment, and then after a specific activity that is carried out. Say, for example, in an accounting concept, 1 year. That means if a accountant's officer is appointed or accountant is appointed, after a specific period of time, how much work he is able to carry out, what is his efficiency in performing these activities, in that way, how he is able to manage the finances, and so on and so forth. So with this brief introduction aspect, in that when the employee is working in the organization over a period of time, definitely he will be put to the review. So in the normal practices, even in the either it is the field of teaching, or it is the field of accounting, or it is the field of production, or it is any other field, any field, any employment, anything else. So definitely after a specific period of time, the employee is put to the review process. So when once employee is able to join organization and complete the task, whatever given to him, then definitely how he is performing that particular activity, whether his activity performed is according to the standard norms or not, and what are the aspects that is considered in the process of that. So in this process, let us share the PPT now. So in this, let me yeah, this is basically, I hope you are able to see the slide. And finally, you entered into the block. So already I have completed the various important lessons up to block 6 also. And in the block 3, unit number 9, that is performance appraisal. In this unit, we are going to study about various performance evaluation objectives and what is the importance of this one, how to develop a performance appraisal system, what are the contents to be appraised for a particular officer's job, and what is the process of performance appraisal. Normally, the red colored questions are very, very important in this particular nature. So methods of performance appraisal and essential characteristics of performance appraisal system and uses and problems of performance appraisal. What are these? These aspects normally in the examination point of view, every student is expected to learn about. So what exactly the meaning and definition of objectives of the performance appraisal? So this topic is basically meant for the process of understanding the capabilities of the person to do a specific job. Let us go through that material book also, whatever given to you. And this is block 9. All the students are requested to go through page number 137 that is given to in that 137 block number 9. So when you are talking about the performance appraisal system, and what is the meaning of the performance appraisal? Performance appraisal is a system of evaluation of individual with regard to his or her performance on the job, and his or her potentiality for the developmental activity. So that is means that evaluation of individual employee. So when once an employee, when once a person joined in the organization, then he will become an employee of the organization. When once he performed a specific job, then evaluate the individual with regard to his performance on the job. That is not training period, on the job, and his potentiality for the development of this. So when once an employee completed a particular task and he is reviewed, sometimes what happens, a senior level person also will be put to performance appraisal system. So then in such a case, why the performance appraisal system is going on for the senior level persons? To promote them to the next higher level, that is another important task of the performance appraisal system. When once a person who is able to perform better a particular task, then instead of using his caliber in the lower level, organizations definitely try to promote them towards the higher level of jobs. And as a result of that, the crucial positions can be given to them in the organizational structure. Say a accounts officer may be promoted as manager accounts, and he will be promoted towards the next higher levels and higher levels. In the process also, performance appraisal helps the employee to get promotions and higher levels of the achievements. And it is a systematic and periodic review. And sometimes performance appraisal is a continuous process, and it is impartial rating of employees' excellence in the matter pertaining to his or her present job and his or her potentials for the better job. So it is a periodic and continuous impartial rating of employees. So performance appraisal system in the academic system, normally performance appraisal will be taken for every semester. In the case of industries, in case of accounting organizations, yearly, and sometimes quarterly performance evaluation, that is software employment, etc. Depending on the nature and size of the organization, depending on the characteristic of the job that he is performing, this performance appraisal system is taken care of. So it's a periodic. In some organizations, they may put review for every 3 years. In some organizations, they may put review for every 6 months or sometimes 1 year. And it is impartially rating the employee, unbiased in nature, against a standard performance, against a specific standard performance. Performance job cards will be definitely be there. Performance standards are previously preset. And on the basis of that, how better the employee is able to meet the standard that is considered in this particular process. Pertaining to his or her job and her potentiality for the future job also. When an employee is selected or suggested for the promotion activity, then how better he can be promoted to the next immediate level, that will be considered in this particular process. So to conclude upon, basically performance appraisal is a system of evaluating the employee, individual employee, in his or present job, in his or her present job, and how he can do the better job or his better developmental aspect. It is a systematic and periodical aspect. It is periodical, that is, in a specific period of time it is done. It is a continuous process. It is impartial rating of the employee. All these characteristic features will be there with the performance appraisal system. So in the paragraph number 9.0, that is introduction aspect, you can go with that. So in the page number, actually, it is 138. It is again, performance appraisal is a systematic description of the employee's job-related strengths and weaknesses. Every employee will have systematic job-related strengths and weaknesses. Say, if an accounting employee, he may be good at accuracy, he may be good at numericals and so on. So a data analyst, he may have good analytical skills with respect to the job what he is doing analysis. Then the basic purpose of to find out as well as the employee is performing the job or establish a plan to improve. Sometimes employees will try to improve his performance by means of establishing an improvement aspect. Appraisal are arranged periodically according to a definite plan that already we discussed. So all these performance appraisal system are periodical and they are for the definite plan or definite action system what is there. And performance appraisal is not job evaluation. Here, in case of job evaluation, already we studied that job evaluation is the process of analyzing the job, whereas performance appraisal is the process of appraising the employee of the organization. Performance appraisal basically refers to the performance of the employee and how he is doing a specific job, whereas job evaluation is the process of evaluating what is the importance of the job in the process of that. That is hierarchy. So that is how the performance appraisal and the job evaluation process particularly differ. And performance appraisal is a continuous process in every large scale organization. In the small scale organizations, performance appraisal system basically taken about 1 year. After every year periodically they will conduct. But in the case of the multinational organizations, it will be a continuous process. These are the other important points, what we can understand. Then systematic evaluation process. Performance evaluation process is completely systematic, unbiased system. It is not related to who is doing that and how better he is able to do the job, that's all. Against the predetermined standards, it is evaluated. And sequentially organize the steps in doing the performance appraisal. So step-by-step approach will be there in the performance appraisal system. And it is continuously evaluation process is also done. So sometimes what happens, an employee may be performing the job, but evaluation process will be going on. So in the manufacturing organizations, labor will be performing their own jobs, but the supervisor will be observing through the CC camera or direct supervision. He will be observing how the employee is performing his job activity and how better he is able to use the material, how better he is able to use the techniques of the machines and all, how technically he is perfect. All these aspects are continuously evaluated. Examination of employees, and also it will be done in that. Providing coaching and motivation. Employees' strengths and weaknesses. Actually, examination of employees' strengths and weaknesses, SW, that is strengths and weaknesses. So what is the strength of the employee? What is the weaknesses of the employee? Some employees may not be suitable to work under the mechanical environment, or some employees may not be suitable for the purpose of working with the numericals, that is called numerical abilities. And at the same time, he may be good at mechanical usage and so on. So that is one. Employee strengths and weaknesses, and provide coaching for the motivation aspect. When a performance appraisal system is carried out, the coaching will be provided to the employee when he is falling short of some certain skills, and then he will be motivated to do the job better and better. Sometimes employees may not be fully motivated basically in depth to go into their jobs, and then they will be motivated to do the job better and better and reduce the grievances and improve employee and superior relations. Reduce grievances. Normally, in case of performance appraisal system, If the employee is performing the job better, then grievances are also identified with respect to the employee and improve the employee's supervision, employee superior relationship, and improve the employee superior relationship. So, as a matter of fact, if a good performance appraisal system definitely motivates the employees, improve promotion based performance aspect in this also. So, normally promotions are based on the performance of the employee. As a result of that, when an employee is suggested for promotion, definitely how he is performing his present job is definitely considered under us. So these are the various important features of the performance appraisal system. Then coming to the other one, the next one, most important aspect, that is objectives of performance of objectives. So in the case of performance objectives, performance appraisal objectives, first of all, developmental use. And this performance appraisal system is basically used for the purpose of development. Development via learning of skills, development via providing technical support, and so on and so forth. And that means development of individual here, development not the organizational context. How you can develop the employees in their job behavior, in their usage of machines, in their technical skills, and so on and so forth. Second one, administrative decisions. When an employee is performing better or his performance appraisal system is supporting towards that, it is easy for the employer to take the administrative decisions. So administrative decision is that how to assign new jobs for that, or new cadre, or new development issues, or the new type of job requirements, or otherwise changing from one job to the another. These are all administrative decisions. So for example, if an employee is good at using a specific type of machine, then if that employee is using that machine perfectly, the related machines are there, then this employee may be asked to give training to the new entrants into the organization, and as a result of that, he will be made as a trainer for the other new entrants into the organization. That is the administrative decision. Then organizational objective. So in case of organizational objective, this performance appraisal system is basically helps as the system, as an evidential system, evidence creating system towards achieving the organizational objectives also. And next one, documentation purpose. When the performance appraisal system is better run in the organization, then it is easy for documentation of the entire activities in the organization. So documents are about the work environment, document about the activities carried out, document about the performance of the employee, document about the promotional opportunities for an employee. All these documents can be prepared with respect to the employee's needs. So these are the another important element what we can understand here. Next, process of performance appraisal. When you are talking about process of performance appraisal, as I told you, first of all, performance appraisal standards are to be established. So against the what basis you are appraising the performance of the employee, that is to be set. So these performance appraisal standards normally are created by the technical experts. That is a typist. If a typist has to type, say for example, 80 words per a minute, or sometimes 60 words per minute, what is his speed? And then employee is say if a lower typewriting lawyer candidate has to type 60 words per minute, means his performance is assessed. So in the same case now, DTP, data processing, so data entry operators, so system analysts. So how many issues they are able to solve in a particular time duration? Then the standards are established first of all to appraise the performance of the employees in that particular job. Next, blind performance appraisal is not accepted. Against what measures you are going to assess the performance, that is considered by the employee, that must be known to the employee. Then only he will be able to give better type of this particular attitude towards the work. When he is giving a good direction, our employees are known about against what parameters they are going to be uh, judged, then automatically performance standards are to be known to them. That means communicate the performance standards to their best satisfaction. Measure the actual performance of the employees, then that means actually measure the performance of the employees in a suitable way. So if a manufacturing in a manufacturing unit, a person or an employee, how many units he is able to produce? Actually, standard number of units of manufacture, say for example, it is 10 units to be manufactured within a specific time duration, then how many number of units he is producing in that specific time duration of 1 hour, that is to be identified. That means measure the actual performance of the employee, then as a result of that, he will go with the comparison aspect. Compare the actual performance with the standards. Comparison of actual performance with the standards. So when actual performance is measured, then compare with the predetermined standards, and then actual performance will be measured with the or compared with the predetermined standards. Communicating the appraisal with the employee. When once appraisal is completed, it is not any secret document. Then employee must be communicated with respect to the employee must be communicated with respect to the standards, what he is able to achieve, how much rating he is able to. Then then this process of appraisal system, at what level he is, that is also communicated to the employee. And next, taking corrective action. Here, the corrective action is not about punishment, but the corrective action is about how to improve his performance. It is not only to promote or demote, or it is not only to give increment or not giving increment. That is not the question. Just mere giving increment or not giving increment, giving a promotion or not giving a promotion, this all comes under disciplinary actions. But here, our objective is not to punish or to take disciplinary action against the employee, but how we can improve the performance of the employee. That means take corrective actions in the form of training, providing training, motivating them, and making them to understand easy and better ways of performing a specific job, and so on and so forth. So that is the process of performance appraisal system. So what to understand here is that basically first create performance standards. That means against what the employee's performance is measured. Second, communicate the standards to the employee. That means he must be able to provide that standards. He must be able to understand the standards, then measure the actual performance, then compare the actual standards with the predetermined standards, and then communicate the appraisal to the employee. That means employee also must know what is the standard, and then finally taking the corrective action in that. These are the various steps in the performance appraisal system. It is another important, very scorecard in that. That is this one. Okay. So this is a very, very important step in this. Just 1 second. Chapter 1. March. Yeah. Next. So what is the next one? That is method of performance appraisal. So process is completed, and how you can carry out the methods of performance appraisal. There are so many methods. What we studied almost in the case of training, they are used here. So ranked comparison, ranking method, grading method, paired comparison, forced choice method, forced distribution, checklist method, etc., etc. There are a lot number of methods are there in this particular performance appraisal system. Almost these methods are simple, are similar to the process of training effectiveness, understanding the effectiveness of training program. That is the ranking method. That is rank them according to that and grade the employees and compare the employees from one performance by other, and so on and so forth. All these aspects that have to be considered. Then performance appraisal system. Then modern methods of performance appraisal system include the there are 4 to 5 most important methods are there. That is, one is MBO. That is management by objectives. What is the methods of performance appraisal system? They are very better clearly given in the page number 147 of your material. I request all the students to go through that material once a while and they can understand it in an easy way. Management by objective. That means here, the management by objective basically provides the very important issue, that is providing the specific targets. Then how better he is able to understand the job, and what are the various aspects, that is simple procedure to be followed up, and establish organizational wide strategies and goals. So in the total organization, what are the various goals that are to be set? In the total organization, what are the standards, what is the strategy of that? And identify the short-term performance goals or short-term performance targets and superior subordinate relationship, and so on and so forth. Then identifying the short-term and also long-term goals, and each goal is to be subdivided into a short-term goals, and then assess the employees on the basis of the short-term goal. Conducting performance review meetings frequently, just like that. For 1 year, if you conduct a performance review meeting, it may become a problem. So in between, if the employee is not able to perform well, automatically he will be in the loss. So establishing the major checkposts to measure the progress towards the goals. So if an organization wants to manufacture 1,000 units per year, if you are not able to assess the performance of the employee till the 1 year period of time, and he is able to manufacture only, say, for example, 600 units, total 500 units is totally lost. At the last minute, you cannot take any decision. So as a result of that, it will be a greater damage. So measure the performance in a periodical intervals. Feedback of the performance is specific, relevant information, and individual performance to take the corrective measures of the action. Always feedback of the performance of specific and relevant information on the information to take the corrective action. Provide the specific feedback only to the employees as well as to the higher ups. So that is individual based. Only relevant information is to be passed on, and a specific target oriented or object oriented system is to be established here. Not general vague information is not required in this. Then, so another one is the benefits of MBO. MBO is actually a essay question for you in the page number 152. That is very, very essential. And MBO helps in encouraging the employees' motivation to realize individual goals and also the employees to understand the work environment. So it reduces the internal conflicts between the higher level and manager level. So actually in the process of MBO, both manager and the employee sit together and set the targets for it. Both of them will work out a equally accepted strategy. Thereby, it is not possible for, it is not very difficult for the employee to go with any of the achievement of the goals. So at the time of setting the goals itself, employer and employee will have equal importance, and equally they will discuss, they will create a strategic plan, and finally they will come into that. This is the MBO process. So like that, MBO helps in setting the sound criteria for appraising the performance and all. So these are the basic issues with respect to that. When once action plan is given, the employee uses it to understand at what level, and finally he will come for the acceptance of the performance appraisal system. If the performance is not up to the mark and he is not able to achieve the goals as per the predetermined standards, he will take the training and he will always strive for the better and better performance. And another one is that behaviorally anchored rating scales are there. What is the various rating scales are available? Behaviorally anchored rating scales. So here, different scales are established on the basis of the different systems, and different critical incidents always procedure for the bars always are also included. This is given in the page number 153 and define critical incidents. So while doing or performing a specific job, what are the different crucial points that will be identified? And then, so generate critical incidents method and then develop performance dimensions. So when a performance of the employee is said to be a good performance, when it will be a good measure, these aspects are identified. And reallocate the incidents or otherwise relocate the incidents altogether. So when this particular problem happens, what to do? If a particular situation arises, what are the action plan? Like that we will identify. And then scale the incidents in a higher level and lower level. Then develop finally the instruments to measure, that is the point in it. The various problems in the bars also are as follows. So it gives a constant error. These are the various important elements that we have to understand in this. So behaviorally anchored rating scales are better used for the purpose of giving the employees in a very effective rating systems on that. Okay, then coming to the different aspects in that is assessment centers also will be there. So that is a very recently established and assessment center basically assess the employees' performance on individual basis. And lastly, 360-degree performance appraisal system. This 360-degree performance appraisal system is a more critical and more perfect system and highly effective system for the purpose of appraising the performance of the employee. In this particular 360-degree appraisal system, employee is assessed from the various lines or various parameters. That is how the junior level, how the peers, how the subordinates, how the superiors are influenced by his actions. That is what is the feedback from the subordinates, what is the feedback from the peers, what is the feedback from the superior. Like that, in a 360-degree manner, the performance of the employees, mostly this employees is assessed, and finally the performance is judged upon. Normally, this 360-degree performance appraisal system is used for the executive jobs. An executive may be hard and fast to the subordinates, how they are feeling. And then what about how he is with the peers, how he is with the subordinates, superiors, and all these aspects are considered in this particular manner. These are the various important aspects relating to the performance appraisal system. Let us now go back to the another important lesson, that is this is what I suggest is that in the block number 3, unit number 9, performance appraisal system. Basically, what is the objectives of performance appraisal? Define performance appraisal. What are the objectives of performance appraisal? What are the features of performance appraisal? Then coming to the what is the process of performance appraisal? Methods for the performance appraisal. What are the modern methods, standard methods? These are very essential for the important aspects what you can understand. Then in the block 3, unit number 11, that is given page number 187 to you. That is another unit actually, career planning and development. So in this particular unit, we are going to talk on that need and process of career planning and development, and what is career planning objectives, or what is the career planning means, and what is the need of that, what is the process of career planning. These aspects we are going to cover in this particular short duration. So career planning and development, what exactly the meaning of career planning is? Deliberate process of becoming aware of self opportunities and constraints, etc. Career plan, normally we know partially about this one, but scientifically we don't know what is exactly the meaning of career planning. Everybody will try, every individual, he will try to plan his career. Nowadays, so much sophisticated methods are sophisticated opportunities, sophisticated technologies are also available for that. Every student, also every employee is aware about what is the prospects of his job and how he can make more meaningful job environment of that. Self opportunities for him. What are the various opportunities for himself? How he can grow in the organizational hierarchy? What are the constraints for the his own development and all? And identifying the career related goals is another one. 187 page number. So identifying the career related goals. So when an employee is identifying his plan, what are the career, what is the roles he can occupy, and what is the career goals, future positions, and the strives to reach the part of the career. What are the future positions he can reach? So a person may be an executive and he may become a senior executive and so on and so forth. And career path is also to be identified. That means sequential pattern of the job that is from a career. So from one by one levels, how he can improve his position in the organization that can be given here. And a career counseling and career progression, these are the another important in the process of the, sorry, in the process of career planning. And it is a programming activity actually. Career planning is also an important programming activity. And work, education, and related developmental experience to provide direction and timing. So, program the work, program your education, and program your developmental experience to provide direction and to give a timing for that. These aspects are to be understood in case of this. Then, what is the need for the career planning and development? So, before going to the need for the career planning and development, so to attract the competent people towards the organization and retain them in that. Actually, career planning basically talks about an employee's development in a specific organization, and it is development in organization function of HRM. It is basically helps the employees to plan their career in terms of their capabilities with respect to the context of organizational needs. That is very, very clearly it is given in the mention in the book. It is how an employee is able to plan his career. What is the goals? What is the roles he can play in the organization? And what are the various opportunities he is having? How he can improve the capabilities and competencies in the context of organizational needs. If he wants to become a general manager, he cannot become. But what is the need in the organization? So in the organizational needs or organizational hierarchical basis, as organization wants, how he can improve his competencies, how he can improve his personal issues and all. These are the various important elements he can use to attract the competent people towards the organization and retain them. So when you are having a good career planning system, so always all the employees will try to gear up to their needs, and as a result of that, they will stick to the organization and they will feel that yes, if I am in the organization, I have ample opportunity to grow in this organization. Then like that, they will have a belief. So I can get promotion. I can have a better salary. So then I can acquire qualifications. I can acquire skills. Like that, when employee is having confidence, definitely he will stick on to that organization. To provide suitable promotion and gateways to the employees. So when an employee is eligible for the promotional aspect, he must be provided to that extent. 1 minute. He must be provided to that extent. So what is the promotional gateways an employee is having? And how he can get promotions? What is the way to acquire the promotion and so on? To provide the opportunities to make them competent to meet future challenges. Career planning is very much important to provide opportunities to make them competent and more to meet the future challenges in the organization. Organization may face a lot of problems because of lowering, because of technology changes, and so on and so forth. As a result of that, organization problems will be there, and employee must be able to meet these challenges in respect of the process of identifying them. So as a result of that, so he will identify the future competencies and future challenges and how he can perform better and rectify the placement policy. So sometimes placement policy always is affected by the career planning and development. So if the new career planning and career developmental objectives are there, then definitely the placement opportunity, placement activity and policy can be definitely changed. So instead of recruiting recruiting the new employees, new individuals directly into the organization, the existing employees can be promoted to the next higher level and so on and so forth. Minimize employee dissatisfaction and turnover. When a good career opportunity is there, then employees dissatisfaction will definitely come down, so that when a satisfied employee, he will never leave the organization and he will be loyal to the organizational context. And the turnover of the employees also will be very less, as they will stick to the organization. There will not be any scope for the new, and always the recruitment process need not be. And we can find a pause in the recruitment process if the labor turnover or employee turnover is minimum. Improve employee motivation and morale. So a highly efficient career planning and development system that always motivates employee for their better understanding of the job improvement possibilities, and that leads to the morale among the various employees. Okay, just look out about this all the needs and all. 1 second. Next. Process of career planning. So analyze individual skills. This is given in page number 190 of your material book. So what is the process of career planning? In that, analyze the individual skills. Each individual competencies are to be analyzed. So in what way we can improve the performance of the employee better? That is to be understood. Analyze career opportunities also. So in that particular line of action, is there any opportunity that can be provided to the specific employee with a specialized skill? Analyze the career demand on the skill and qualification, and what is the demand for the career, and what is the skills required, what is the qualifications that are required, and all these aspects can be understood or analyzed. And then after that, relating the specific job to the career opportunity, relating the specific job to the career opportunity. Then every job is to be related to that particular career in that, and how better opportunities can be provided. Prepare action strategy. That means how to process this one, how to improve the career of the employee, and how it can be better made out, and then as a result of that, implement the strategy. So these are the various steps in that. So with this, actually, this particular lesson also is going to end with that. Let me. So this is another various aspects that can be understood about the career planning aspect. Next. Just let us roughly go through this page number 239, block number 4, unit number 14, wage and salary administration. And that with that, we will almost covered about 90% of the syllabus aspect in that. So in the block 1 also, we have covered these aspects. Let us go with that. And then we will roughly cover about this particular aspects, and we'll make a review. And then later on, we can close the sessions all the way. So then coming to the 239 page number. So 239 page number. Wage and salary administration. In that, what is the meaning of the wage and salary that is given? And then factors affecting the wage and salary administration. What are the salary levels and all? And individual and institutional concerned with the wage and salary administration. So meaning of wage and salary administration process. Wage and salary is for compensating the employees for their work, efforts, and salaries rendered, services rendered, sorry, for the services rendered. So, in this process, let me save this now. Thank you. In this wage and salary administration process, the wage and salary or wage or salary that is given for the compensating the employees for their work, for their efforts and their services rendered. So that is one. Wage and salary administration is the relevance of a systematic and practical approach to confirm that the employees are paid or compensated in a more reasonable and fair and equitable manner. A person who is putting their work, sometimes skilled labor, sometimes semi-skilled labor, sometimes unskilled labor. So how much effort they are putting, how much work they are turning over, and how much they are paid, all these aspects will be considered in this process. So as a result of that, whether the payment made is on equitable justice or not, that is equal work, equal employee, equal work, equal payment. So then in such a case, wage and salary administration, it is very relevant for the systematic and practical approach to confirm that the employees are paid and compensated reasonably for the work done by them, and fair payment is made and equitably paid among various employees. So if two employees are working on the same lines, then they must be paid equitable wages. It is a strategic management process of ensuring equitable distribution of earnings and the savings to protect the individual peace, and managing the productivity and profitability and the growth of the firm. So strategic management process, it ensures the equitable distribution of earnings. So actually the profits, all the revenue what is generated by the firm, that is not only enjoyed by the management only. That is not enjoyed by the total, that is not to be enjoyed by the total management alone. So as a result of that, equitable distribution needs to be happened. That is industrial peace, and all the employees, they must go with the equitable basis, and productivity and profitability and the growth of the firm is utmost important. Then coming to the, that means wage and salary administration helps the organization to provide a meaningful distribution of the revenue generated among the management, among the members, among the employees, and so on and so forth. Then, what are the basic objectives of the wage and salary administration? To acquire qualified, experienced workforce, to retain the employees. So qualified and experienced workforce, how best qualified employees will come. So if your wage and salary administration is proper and you are paying equitable wages, you are better paying for what you are expecting them to work, then automatically skilled employees will be in the queue for your organization. And second one, retain the employees. So all the employees, those who are working in the organization, to retain them, there must be a proper wage system. If you are getting work done, but you are not paying properly or delayed payments, definitely the employees will not retain with you. So next, ensure equity. So all the employees are treated equal. Then reward for the desired behavior. The reward for the desired behavior is very, very important. So if an employee is working good, or if employee is giving suitable behavior or expected behavior, then definitely there must be a reward for the employee. Then he will be motivated for the behavior what he exhibited, and that will help to the organization also to better. To control the cost, right person at reasonable salary. If wage and salary administration is proper, then you can control the cost also. That means right person at a reasonable salary. If wage and salary administration policies are perfectly implemented, right persons will come. But at the reasonable salaries, they will be working with your organization. Lastly, to comply with the legal formalities. Nowadays, almost all the organizations are governed by the law. If any organization issues are there, even any of the parties, they are going to court of laws. Legal formalities are there. So to comply with how much should be the wage, how much should be the minimum wage, how much should be the amount to be paid for which type of work that is taken care of. All these things are governed by the legislation, like Factories Act is there, Industrial Dispute Act is there, Payment of Wages Act is there, like the different legal formalities are there, and how they can be. This can be also satisfied with the help of the wage and salary administration. Then coming to the what are the various factors affecting the wage and salary administration process? So, cost of living, demand and availability of the labor, job evaluation process, nature of the work, existing wages in the specific region, wage and salary survey, organizational problems and wage and salary system, wage and salary administration cost and registration, and wage differentials on the basis of skills, education, experience, and responsibility, job conditions, etc. These are the various factors which will definitely influence the wage and salary levels in the organization. And lastly, to come to the conclusion of this one, individuals and institutions which are concerned with the wage and administration, what are the various organizations that are taking part in the process of wage and salary administration? That is very, very essential. Then coming to the another one here. So employer is one that is primarily he is concerned with the payment of wages. That is, he only decide how much to be paid. Second one is legislation. That is a law. So how much should be paid for which type of employee? Then third party, that is collective bargaining process, as I explained in the previous session. That is industrial people, industrial persons, how they will be collecting and bargaining process. And then wage boards also will be there. So the wage tribunals, wage boards, they offer suggestions for the purpose of the wage and salary administration to the organizations. And pay commission, fifth pay commission, sixth pay commission, etc. Whenever pay commissions are established by the government, then they will decide the salary of the employees. Normally, this is very often done in the case of the academic educational institutions, sixth pay commission, seventh pay commission, like that. When the pay commissions are there, then according to the pay scales fixed by the pay commission, and employee must be paid. And third parties like Industrial Dispute Act, etc. also will decide about wage and salary payment and how they must be regulated and all this. Then lastly, methods of wage payment system. What are the various methods of wage payment systems are there? Then first of all, time rate system. That is how much time the worker worked in an organization on the basis of time. For example, if a worker works for 8 hours a day, how much he must be paid at the rate of say rate per hour basis on that. Second one is piece rate system. Whenever piece rate system is a piece wage rate system, or in the case of time rate system, employee was asked to stay in the organization for a specific time period, say for example 7 hours a day or 8 hours a day, with a reasonable break of 1 hour time and so on. And second one, piece wage rate system, piece wage system. That means in this particular wage system, employees are paid to for the purpose of producing the number of pieces or number of items they are producing. This is mostly with relation to production activities. So how many number of pieces or how many number of units the employee is able to produce. And then incentive schemes also will be there. So these are the individual incentive schemes. And then group systems also will be there. And straight piece rate system, individual piece rate system, differential piece rate system, production incentives, and regular incentives. These are the other systems definitely help us to go with the wage payment systems. Then lastly, wage differentials is another important element to be understood about this one. So why there will be difference in the wages? Why there will be difference in the wages. That is occupational and skilled based. So occupation based wages, skill based wages. Skill based means, say for example, all the skill set required. Certain specific skills are required to perform a specific job. These are the very, very important aspects. On the basis of skill, they need to perform. On the basis of occupation, they need to do this aspect. And clerical wage differentials also will be another important reason. And men and women differentiation, that is also another very differential aspect. And industrial labor organization, ILO, based wage differentials are also to be identified. Okay. These are the various important aspects that we need to cover in this. And thank you very much for Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University for giving me this opportunity to serve the students better by providing the knowledge in the human resources management system. So almost all 90% of the concepts are covered in this particular 8 classes which are given to me, and within this particular 8 classes duration, I am able to complete the maximum portion on that. And thank you very much. Thank you, one and all. BRAO technical team. Good evening, sir. Anybody else here? Good evening, sir. Anybody else here to respond? Hello. Thank you. Thank you.